The government is not averse to implementing more cooling measures on the property market if needed, said National Development Minister Desmond Lee. He added that it was not yet time to roll back curbs that have been imposed to keep property prices under control. Mr. Lee was responding to a question during a media interview on January 13 on whether the government's efforts over the past years have addressed concerns over housing affordability. He outlined the government's approach to addressing such concerns in recent years. The authorities have ramped up the supply of public housing through its BTO program, while also implementing measures to cool demand. He called for more time to let these efforts take effect on the market.
Let the supply and demand side measures work their way through. We are not averse to putting in new measures if necessary, because we need to ultimately make sure that there's no property bubble, whether it's on the private side or on the public housing sector.
Asked about the effectiveness of the 15-month wait-out period, Mr. Lee said the proportion of private property downgraders paying high prices for HDB flats has come down. From January 1 to September 29 in 2022, this group made up about 34% of buyers who bought million-dollar flats. After the wait-out period was implemented, the proportion dropped to 12% between January and November in 2024. He added that the government would lift this temporary measure when the property market stabilizes, and not at this point of time. Meanwhile, price growth in the private residential market slowed in 2024, Mr. Lee noted. But prices are still higher than they were before the COVID-19 pandemic, and the government will continue to keep a close eye on the private market, he said. On affordability, he noted that 8 in 10 first-timer families who bought new or resale HDB flats could service their HDB loans using their Central Provident Fund contributions, with little or no cash payments. Mr. Lee said the government is very careful about intervening in the property market, as people's homes and assets are at stake.
If you want to take very tough demand-side measures, you must be mindful of the economic environment and not overcorrect, because that would risk causing the market downturn to be sharper than what I think most homeowners would expect. Those who pay very high prices, especially high prices above valuation, will be at greatest risk when the market, not if, eventually does correct.
He also pointed out that sentiment-driven psychology has contributed to rising public housing resale prices. This sentiment also causes home buyers to feel anxious about securing a flat despite the high price, because they think that tomorrow, the price may go up, Mr. Lee added.
There's no doubt there's been a psychological impact on people's sense of affordability. But we have to look at where these flats are, their age, their youth, the attractive attributes that they come with, and recognize that they remain a small proportion of resale transactions.
Mr. Lee was also asked about whether the new flat classification would contribute to higher prices in estates where prime and plus flats are located, because existing flats in these areas do not come with the new resale restrictions applied on prime and plus BTO flats. He said this was way too early to tell, as it will be some 10 to 15 years before prime and plus flats hit the resale market.